Happy Halloween, everybody! Yes, it is Halloween, and since it's Halloween, I decided I'm going to be doing all my reviews for you in costume. I was going to tell you guys this last night, I forgot to tell you though, but, if you have a problem with me, doing my reviews in costume, just don't watch these videos. But I really hope you do, because this is the perfect time for me to wear this mask, and by the way, my costume is sort of like a, punk rocker from the dead. That's basically my costume. I think it's a pretty cool costume, and I'm pretty proud of it, so yeah, I really like this costume. Apart from the I really like this costume, so, yeah, but we're not talking about the costume, we're going to be talking about American Horror Story Coven, Episode 4, Fearful Pranks Ensue. Guys, this episode was definitely very shocking. There was a lot of shocking things that happened in this episode, and there are a lot of game changers in this episode that I think are definitely going to affect the rest of this, mini-series you could probably call, because, it's 13 episodes. But, I really love this episode. Again, I just think the show's just getting better and better as they go on, and this episode was no exception. It was fantastic. The opening, we kind of saw that there's this boy who's black, who's running down the street, and he gets hit by this car, basically. And once he gets hit by the car, he's killed by the Salem witches. So the voodoo witches are very upset about this, so they kind of make this truce where they're not going to come in contact with each other. And that's how the episode began, basically. But then we also see, after this, that Spaulding is, by the way, I didn't really know what that whole scene was about. I'm kind of like, what was that? Why is this important? I knew it was going to be important at some point, but I didn't really understand what was going on there, but I understood. First of all, the good thing about this episode was that it took place on Halloween, which meant very, very creepy, because this show, as we know, is very creepy on Halloween. And, we see that Spaulding actually heard Madison and Fiona's little confrontation before Madison died, and before Madison got killed by Fiona, and she comes in, and Fiona basically says that, you know what, she probably wouldn't have been a good member of the Coven anyway. So you could see that Fiona kind of feels remorse, but at the same time, it doesn't look like she feels remorse. You don't really know what's going on here. But you see that Spaulding kind of has this idea. He wants to do something with Madison. We don't know what he really wants to do with her, but we know something's going to happen there. But basically, what we see here is that as time goes on, we see that the one, girl, Nan, she ends up, she can't hear Madison. She knows something's wrong. Zoe's basically like, oh, no, she's not dead, maybe she's just sleeping or something, and she basically says, oh, no, I can't hear her, that means something's wrong. So basically, Nan ends up calling the Witch Council, and the Witch Council comes, and they talk to Fiona, directly to Fiona, and at first it's just, and it's this girl, Myrtle Snow, who I thought was played brilliantly by, I don't know who played her, but she was really good in the show, whoever played her. But that's Fiona's longtime rival from their days as students at the school. And basically we see that when Fiona calls a vicious old queen make up the council, which only assembles only the greatest circumstances. And through their introduction, we learn that the penalty for killing a Salem witch is death by fire, that the last time a witch was buried at the stake was in 1926. Myrtle, however, is hoping to change that soon. I've got a bunch of matches in my pocket. I'm just dying to fight this fire, she told Fiona. So basically, she suspects that Fiona killed Madison, which we know she did. We know that she did kill Madison, and I love the part where basically they're just questioning the students about what happened with Madison, and I loved Queenie's little thing that she said. She said that Madison Montgomery is a stone-cold bitch who loves hard drinking, big dicks, and trouble. If she's dead, it's probably because she got wasted and offered the Green Reaper a hand job or something. I thought that was hilarious when she said that, because, it was just hilarious. It was so unexpected, but it was really, really funny at the same time. So eventually we get to the point where we go to a flashback. We're in 1971, where we see that, this is when Fiona killed her mentor, basically, and she's talking to the witch council and everything, and Myrtle's about to tell on her. She's ready to tell on her. But, so Myrtle puts this spell on Spaulding, and, Spaulding, basically, she made this spell where he's incapable of lying, where basically he would be forced to reveal that Fiona killed the former Supreme. And basically just before, basically he tells her that, he was actually the one who cut out his tongue. Fiona did not cut out his tongue. We found out in this episode that he cut out his tongue for her so she was not burned, basically. So, Spaulding's a really great person. He's a very strange person, but it still was. Now we understand why he cut out his tongue. It wasn't because Fiona didn't want Spaulding to go and blab it out to someone. No, it was because Spaulding was trying to protect Fiona, and we really got to see that Spaulding really does care for Fiona. And I thought that was a brilliant scene, the way that was done. I really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was really, really good. So yeah, that was a really great scene. So after all this happens, eventually Myrtle Snow just breaks. She's like, "You killed her. I know you killed her. I know what you did." And it looks like that something bad's about to happen to Fiona. And we basically see that what we basically see is that it turns out that Cordelia comes in, and she's like, "My mother did not kill Madison because she was going to be the new Supreme." And she comes out and she says, "Madison Montgomery was not going to be the new Supreme because we found out that Madison had a heart rate monitor, and a Supreme has to have full health in order to be a Supreme. So Madison was not going to be the new Supreme." So the question is, if she was not going to be the new Supreme, who was? Why do I have this feeling that they're going to make Cordelia be the one who is actually the new Supreme? Why do I just have this feeling? Mother-daughter conflict, it could probably happen. I could definitely see that happening, definitely. But she's a little old for that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It could happen, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll just have to see, I guess. So then after this, Fiona is innocent. Myrtle Snow's kind of upset because she really wanted to kill her, but everything's fine and dandy there. So then after this, Fiona and Cordelia, they go out for a drink, and we got to see Fiona and Cordelia share a nice moment at the bar, and they decide to play this game. Cordelia and Fiona play this game where they have to lie to each other. There's one specific question that she asks her, and that question is, "Did you kill Madison?" And Fiona says no. I think she did kill her and that she meant to, but we never know if it was intentional or not intentional. We still do not know what Fiona really meant to do that night. We do not know that yet, and I don't think we're going to know that for a while. I like that they didn't just, start that story, figure out what happened right away. And when Cordelia told her mother, "You'll make a bad girl out of me," yet it kind of felt like, it kind of just sounded like that Cordelia's going to turn to the villain or something. Like she thinks she's going to turn bad like her mom. But we're definitely going to have to see what's going to happen here. But then as Cordelia goes into the bathroom, basically, she ends up, there's this hooded figure who attacks her in the bathroom, and he throws a potion on her face that immediately starts burning her. And basically we're thinking that, it starts burning her, and that's what happens. It just starts burning her, and that's how, her storyline ended. So we're definitely going to have to see what happens there. But that's not all that's going on there, because we have some other stuff to talk about. Let's talk about Zoe. Zoe had this, first we got to talk about Queenie and all that. So the other plot of this episode had to do with this war between the Salem witches and the Voodoo witches. And it turns out that it ends up being over because the Minotaur almost killed Queenie, and Fiona decided to send Marie a message, which was Marie's lover's head in a box. And though she broke the peace treaty between the two decades earlier, Marie is out for revenge, raising the dead, and basically she ends up raising the dead from their graves to attack the academy, the Coven, and 3 of those zombies just happen to be Madame LaLaurie's daughters that Marie murdered back in the day. So now we have another thing to face with these zombies and everything. So we're definitely going to see what happens there, because she just raised them from the dead, and we're going to see what happens. But the other thing that's going on here is Kyle. Now, Zoe, really, she kind of feels bad for what she did to Kyle. She starts to think that, maybe bringing Kyle back to life wasn't the best idea. She decides to kill him by putting rat poison in his food. But when she wants to serve him his last meal, he actually left the house. So we don't know what's going to happen here, but he's on the loose, and we don't know where he is, but he is on the loose. So this is not a good thing for Zoe, because now her, the person she brought back from the dead is on the loose. So she's got another issue there. We're definitely going to have to see what happens there. The only other thing left to talk about is the big twist here. This was a very strange twist, but a very big twist too. Something else with Cordelia. A lot going on with Cordelia, and they're not good things. So remember how she was trying to have a baby with her husband and everything, and it wouldn't work? He's actually having an affair with this other girl. And he ends up having an affair with her. They have like a one-night stand. And it's literally just a one-night stand. She starts talking about Halloween stuff, and before anything could happen between them, they have sex and everything, and before anything else could happen between them, she really likes him, he shoots her in the head. So not only is Cordelia's face being burnt, her husband is a mass murderer who committed an affair, but he's a murderer as well. So, he's like a serial killer, basically. He sleeps with these women, then he kills them. That's why Cordelia has not found out about it yet, because he kills them. And I think it was definitely a very big reveal, and I really liked that reveal, and I definitely really enjoyed this episode. So now we have not just one, but 3 things to fear here. 1, we got this whole thing going on with Cordelia, with the continuing thing of Fiona, and did she kill Madison, did she not kill her? 2, now we have these zombies that we have to deal with that, Marie just raised from the dead because Marie was so upset about her. And the other thing we have to, is where is Kyle? That's the other thing. And when is Cordelia going to find out the thing about her husband? Who's he going to go for next? It's really crazy on this show. But I really love this episode. They're really revealing more and more as the episodes go on. And I'm just loving it. It's so amazing. And American Horror Story just got so much better after this episode. It's so, so good, you guys. I love this show. And this episode was it was so good, and I really loved it. So let me know what you guys saw this episode. What is going to happen here with Cordelia? Is she going to die? What do you think they're going to do there? Where is Kyle? Where'd he go? What is going to happen with these zombies that are out the door? And actually, Madame LaLaurie was the one to answer the door. She opened the door, and there were the zombies, and she couldn't even, the trick-or-treaters came. She opened the door, and it was the zombies. And where is going to happen with Cordelia's husband? What's going to happen there? So yeah, hope you all have a nice Halloween. I hope you enjoyed my costume. This is not the only video I'm doing today. I'm also going to be doing the Tomorrow People once I watch it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye. And have a happy Halloween.